Funny. Now, for our fan favorite portion of the show, it's time for This Week in History, trivia style. Starting all the way back in 1920, August 18th, 1920, the 19th Amendment was ratified, giving U.S. women the right to vote. What state cast the deciding vote? What state made suffrage a thing? I often ask younger people about the United States Constitution, especially those people who've decided to willing to give their life to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. And then I ask them questions about the Constitution, because I believe if you're going to raise your right hand and swear to defend the United States Constitution, you should probably know what's in it. And one of my favorite questions is, when did Americans, what amendment gave women the right to vote, and what caused it? And sometimes they'll get it right, but most of the times they wouldn't. And here's the correct answer. It's the 19th Amendment, okay, as we know from the question we just read. And it only happened after the passage of the 18th Amendment. Once we sobered up, we gave women the right to vote. And then, only a few short years later, we realized our mistake and we went back to drinking. All right, here are your multiple choice options. Was it Tennessee, New York, Ohio, or Virginia? August 18th, 1920, the 19th Amendment is passed, giving women the right to vote. What state cast the deciding vote? I do not know. Looking at the list, I'm checking it twice. I'm going to find out who's not here tonight. If I had to guess, I'd probably go with Tennessee. I feel like that's far enough away. I got Mr. Taney there. He's going to go with Ohio. Anybody else want to get your answers in? I've given you as much time as I can give you. Tennessee, New York, Ohio, or Virginia. What state was the deciding vote for passing the 19th Amendment? Jessica is going with Ohio. James is going with Ohio. Robert has refused to answer. And TikTokers. Okay. I don't know what that means. August 19th, 1934. This German leader officially became Führer after merging the offices of Chancellor and President. Who was it? Who became the Führer in 1934 Germany? Don't really know if we need a multiple choice answer on this one, because let's be honest, we really don't know any other politicians from that time period in that country that went by the name Führer, do we? I'm going to give you the answer. No, you're going to give me your answers, and they're going to count, even though this was probably a little too simple. And then the options don't make it either. I mean, that is a name I recognize. Okay, first off, Joseph Stalin, we know it's not him. Second, Benito Mussolini, we know it's not him. Of course, Adolf Hitler is in the mix, but Kaiser Wilhelm II is an option. I've got some funny answers that are coming out of the Taney household. But was it Hitler or was it Wilhelm? I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Wilhelm, but my answer is going to be Adolfo. I'm going to go with Hitler. James is adamantly going with Hitler. Jessica. No answer yet. Robert has tapped out. Heavy on the meds, probably went back for napping, went back to his sleeping. And I check over here, and I got nothing. Jessica goes with Hitler. So we're all tracking so far. Here we go. August 20th, 1977. NASA launched Voyager 2. What famous golden object did it carry on board? What famous golden object got carried aboard Voyager 2? Yes, I am aware that he is Austrian. He was Austrian. Now he's just dead. Do you know what the golden thing was that was on Voyager 2? There is a story beyond a story about this whole golden record thing. I wish I could tell you more. Okay, well, you're doing a great job. Here are your multiple choice options. The golden record with all sorts of ways to kill the human race. Mr. Taney for the win. Before he even receives his multiple choice options, he goes with the golden record, which is, of course, one of the options. But they also have the golden moon rock, the golden record, the golden compass, or the golden telescope. That, to me, would be hilarious. And send a golden compass out into the intergalactic space. And then when the receives it, which is how they speak. I'm fluent in, yes. Record, she says. Record, he says. Record, I agree. On drugs, on a bunch of LSD they came up with it. It's so stupid. The record itself, the story behind the golden record is crazy and stupid. August 21st, 1959, Hawaii. Man, I hope they don't get this wrong. Hawaii became the 50th U.S. state. What flower is Hawaii's state flower? That reminds me of the old Craig Ferguson show, the late show with Craig Ferguson, where he would always start every question with, Reykjavik is the capital of Iceland. And then the question would have nothing to do with Reykjavik or the capital of Iceland, or Iceland. Here, we got a little of that flavor. August 21st, 1959, Hawaii became the 50th state. What flower is Hawaii's state flower? Mr. Taney is going with the bird of paradise. Or what the thing is. Picture of Leonardo da Vinci's man. It is not, no. All right, bird of paradise is what he is going with. And it is one of the options. Man, he is on fire today, possibly. Is it the hibiscus, the orchid, the plumeria, or the bird of paradise? I know nothing. But if two of my favorite contestants are both going to say bird of paradise, I'm going to agree with them and say bird of paradise, and then later look it up because apparently it's a gorgeous flower. Okay. Question number 5. Again, our goal is to go 7 for 7 every week. Sometimes we get there, sometimes we don't. If I get the first one wrong, I'm gonna just be mad. August 22nd, 1485. Let's see how smart you are today, sir. The Battle of Bosworth Field ended the War of the Roses. Which king was killed in the battle? It is the Battle of Bosworth Field. It is what ends the War of the Roses, which was a very long war. And the king dies on the field of battle. Which king was it? Was it Edward IV, Richard III, Henry VI, or Henry VII? I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VI, Henry V. Wait, Henry VI, Henry VII. They're all in Roman numerals, man. I have to translate. Richard III or Edward IV. I think it's the Lionheart. I believe it's Richard III. He was a fighting man. He loved to fight. He loved to go on the Crusades and fight and get offended by the French and fight them. He loved to fight. If I had to guess, that's my guess. I like this. All right, question number 6. It's August 23rd, 1966. The first picture of Earth from lunar orbit was taken. What Apollo mission sent back that photo? I don't think 5th was an option. Edward the Fourth, Richard the Third, Henry the Sixth, or Henry the Seventh? I have no idea. She's going to go with the fifth. I like the song, and Henry the Sixth. I went with Richard the Third. The first picture of Earth from lunar orbit was taken on August 23rd, 1966. Which Apollo mission sent back the photo? Was it Apollo 7, Apollo 8, Apollo 11, or Apollo 17? It seems kind of silly. Okay, she's going with the sixth. Got it. He goes, James is going to lose right there. Blackjack, no trade back. You can't change your answer. He answers with Apollo 11, which is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Because Apollo 11 doesn't take off anywhere near 1966. But remember, we sent birds up in advance of Apollo 11, 1970, 1969. Somewhere in that area. 1966, I believe, was Apollo 7. They went to the moon. They did the Michael Collins thing. They went all the way to the moon. They went around the moon, and they came all the way back, never landing on the moon. Michael Collins did it, and there was a rest stop along the way. They went all the way to the moon. They let two guys go out and play for a while, but he had to stay in the lunar module before. Imagine traveling 250,000 miles and watching your friends go down and play, and you got to stay in the car, and then 250,000 miles all the way back. Again, August 23rd, 1966, the first picture of the Earth was taken from lunar orbit. What Apollo mission did it? Was it 7, 8, 11, or 17? James went with 11. He wrong. Jessica's going to go with 8, and I chose 7. We'll find out soon if our answers were correct. August 24th, 79 A.D. I have not even read the rest of this question. I already know the answer. I haven't even read the question. I've only read the date because only one thing happened in 79 A.D., and the answer is Mount Vesuvius. Let's find out if I'm close. That was a blind. I did a blind question. August 24th, August 24th, 79 A.D. No, you can't change your answer. I told you, blackjack, no trade back. You get an asterisk. Mount Vesuvius erupted, destroying Pompeii and Herculaneum. What modern-day city is closest to the ruins? All right, so my blind answer was a fail. Pompeii and Herculaneum were both destroyed in the eruption of 79 A.D. What is the Italian city that's right next to Vesuvius? Do you know? I wanted to sing that. Hey, table 42, baby. You're going to get Jackie Robinson. Here are your options, and I'm only going to say them in Italian. Was it Napoli, Roma, Firenze, or Venezia? Which was it? Which one of these major cities is near Mount Vesuvius? I know, because I used to look at Mount Vesuvius every day. So I know the city that's there. I'm not giving you my answer until I get yours. Or until we time out. One of the two. Again, your options: Naples, Rome, Florence, or Venice. What major metropolitan city is closest to Mount Vesuvius? All right. Well, I've waited long enough. If you're not going to answer, you're not going to answer. The answer is Naples. Answers, please. Here are the answers for today's questions. Answer number 1, Tennessee. So basically, y'all done right there. Right at the get-go, I correctly guessed Tennessee, while you chose Ohio. Question number 2, it was Adolf Hitler that was the first Führer. Question number 3, was the golden record. Question number 4, I thought this. I thought it was a hibiscus, but I listened to you two. I let you two fool me into thinking it was a bird of paradise. We all got it wrong. Question number 5, was Richard III? Oh, had I not listened to you, I feel like I could have. Nope, I couldn't have. Because question number 6 was Apollo the 8th. Never change your answer, Jessica. Right? Didn't you know that from school? Once you make an answer, don't change it. But it is kind of strange that it took them 8 missions before they realized, hey, we should probably bring a camera. And finally, of course, it is Naples. So I got hibiscus wrong and Apollo wrong. I only got 5. I got 5 with an exclamation point because I would have chosen hibiscus had it not been for your influence with the wrong answer. That's going to do it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thanks for playing along. And I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you are a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Bruce sends her love. And with that,